Alright, y'all are in for a treat because we are making video game history today. This is the very first YouTube video of the adventures of MikeMan 2. Which kind of makes sense because the game sort of predates the time when YouTube was a thing. This game came out in 2002, 14 years ago, and this was actually its creator, Rhete's first video game, and he made it in Flash 4. And since then, he's released 14 years worth of Flash 4 games, including Bullet Phase in 2016. So, he's been working with Flash 4 longer than Nintendo worked with the Game Boy, or SNK worked with the Neo Geo. And this is kind of the start of that whole story. And his relationship with the tech is something that just really, really interests me. The game itself is this really cute little platformer. The beginning here is real gentle and nice as a result of actually when the game originally came out in 2002, it was at half the frame rate and the bosses had twice as much health, and naturally it wasn't very fun. So this version is a lot faster. He put it out a couple years later after making a couple other games. You'll notice that and it plays a lot better, and the comic timing is a lot sharper. That's kind of what is most striking to me about the game, is just the humor in the timing. If you collect all the lemon yogurts in each level, then you get access to a bonus stage at the end of each world, which gives you a piece of a password, where you can unlock a secret set of levels at the very end of the game. Regrettably, if you die on any of the bonus levels, then you don't get a second chance, so you need to go through the game again or run a password. I'm sure that won't happen though. I'm sure we'll beat everything just fine. The castle level is a pretty sharp jump in scenery from the preceding level with the gentle grassland music and everything. That grassland music, the pacing of the first world inspired me so much that I basically went and made a game after playing the first two worlds of this game based exclusively on the first two worlds. And then I finally came back called Frog Adventure, and I finally came back and beat this game a while later. And turns out it goes in a lot of different places than that. That's kind of the cool thing about Rhete's works as a whole, is that it has this energy and just willingness to shoot really far forward. They don't tend to just kind of lie there limply. The Rhete's games just power forth in this really neat way. That's especially evident in his later work like Project N3 games and Hunters, but you can see it even sorry, the fuck you there just makes me laugh really hard. It's just so out of left field. This boss is a little irritating because the first couple shots, it doesn't really give you any indication that you're damaging him. But I think we got another bonus stage. But this one's probably the hardest of the bonus stages in my reckoning of the ones I figured out. But it's pretty simple once you figure it out. Just you can't kill those guys. And they kill you real quickly because you only have one life in the bonus levels. Alright, BT. Let's see where we go from here. Oh, here's the terrible level. Because when the game got doubled in frame rate, it mostly actually held together and was maybe more fun. This level just kind of falls apart. But even right now, even after playing it a bunch, I still just die over and over again on this level. Also, there's a curious little quirk with the bullets, which works Space Invaders style, where you can only shoot once until it goes off the screen. Where the bullet will kill multiple enemies if they're far away from each other, but if they're close together, then the bullet will only kill one of them, which was just a particular trial on that level since it's so hard otherwise. But the rest of the levels in the caves are pretty trivial. And I think we're moving into another boss. Oh man. There's so much variation here. That's a big thing in all of these games really, but this one especially. I feel like this is probably a pure comedy game than maybe any of other Rhete's games. So I think the variety really serves it well in that sense. Just the way it moves really quickly from thing to thing. It's too hard. It's kind of probably a little too hard. But once you get past that, it's real nice. Again, with the stock game, I love the stock Game Maker explosion. That's just very nostalgic and pleases me. I think we got another bonus stage first, though. Oh my god, the 9 Inch Nails clip. My first game, just by coincidence, I hadn't played this, but my first game had a clip from Mr. Self-Destruct playing as background music on one of the stages. It was not quite as much comic effect as this game's, but I just think that's a funny coincidence since... Not gonna work out. Sorry, kid. BTC. Rhete made a whole bunch of Flash movies, which I'm not as familiar with, and that's really obvious playing this game. I really like how the different stages kind of work. Here, let's show you what happens here. Again, with just the speed where it just destroys you instantly, and it's pretty funny. And that's the only stealth level. Moving on to the next thing, because we've already got that joke. Oh man. But the use of cutscenes in this game is really sharp, I think. I think the way it kind of flows from world level to world level is a lot more substantive than a lot of big platformers, and it helps carry the game's momentum a lot when it could otherwise really flag. I like the idea. I like the cannons that shoot in 45-degree angles that are nevertheless aimed at you. That's something I had in one of my games because I noticed Solar Striker doing it. And I found it's actually a lot harder to program than bullets that just aim directly at you. So I don't know if that's true in Flash 4. It's definitely true in Game Maker. But I really like the effect. This is a cute boss fight too. Just figuring out kind of the pattern here, which is just hanging over on the side and working your way around. I don't think there's any point where you can just kind of trivialize any of the boss fights. All the patterns seem pretty sharp to me. So far, we've gotten all the bonus stages. So can we get this one? This one, design-wise, is a little bit lazy. It's just literally the same boss fight, but with children burning skin. I'm talking really fast because there's a lot to mention about this game, and it moves so quickly. I think we're about good with here. That's playing. The ripped music is really funny. I think that's another BTC. Oh, gotcha. Well, I think that's only 4 worlds. Makes sense. So I guess now we're... Oh man! The Project N3 games and Hunters both continued in tradition, started right here, where shmup level in the middle of the platformer. Well, I guess the Project N3 games just are shmups. But this one's pretty simple. It's just the same bullet shooting, but with the ability to... Oh, gotta be careful to nab those things. I didn't really understand the health mechanic system at first, because I just figured because I think what it is that you respawn with 1 HP every time, but the health packs respawn too, and then you can carry them forward into your next attempt on the next level. It doesn't really make sense or hold together as just health packs. It makes more sense as these are just collectibles that happen to restore health. So, whatever. Scrolling is really hard to do in Flash 4, and it's something that you see develop a lot throughout Rhete's oeuvre. And this is especially silly where you need to walk backwards through when you can barely see to the left. But it functions. I like the scrolling star background too. None of the levels drag on. I really like the single screen approach, and I feel like these scrolling levels still capture that same energy that you get from just having levels that move forward just instantly. This is a great joke. I love the stage cue cards that have just little tiny versions of the stages in them, and then it just cuts directly into the stage itself. Love the random timer. Just Rhete's always liked Metroid games, and that's increasingly obvious, but this is just a cute little homage, and then, oh! Alright, let's do it! We got this! Oh, okay. Well, okay. Let's just go ahead and fight the boss. So this last boss fight is ridiculous, because the random cut there is so funny. Alright, so it took me a while to figure out the first time that you need to redirect this alien's bullets into them. Oh, and that kills you instantly. And this is also the only level where you get a full recharge of your health at the start automatically. Oh man. But yeah, this level is ridiculous because it's the only one where Rhete did not double the final boss's health or half the boss's health when he put together the re-release version a couple years later that doubled the frame rate and made it actually fun. So the boss just has a ridiculous amount of HP. Not so much this version of the fight, but one of the next ones up ahead. But yeah, it's a really cute fight once you kind of get the flow of it down. There's a lot of beats here that feel real silly when you play them. Like just the insta lasers are pretty ridiculous, and the insta floor thing is ridiculous. Once you know it's there, it's a fun little obstacle, but the first time it's going to kill you. And you can see how that develops in Hunters, as it starts off with kind of silly laser beams that are really hard to dodge your first time, and then kind of develops into more nuanced boss battles. This reminds me a lot of the final boss to Project N3 2. But yeah, this fight is just ridiculous because of the amount of HP. I think it's like 20. But I get real lucky here and just get into the pattern right off the bat. The sound effects are really funny. But yeah, there's a whole lot of the rip music is used to really great effect, and I really appreciate that. Oh, okay, we're into the ending. Another game Rhete likes, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So the falling through space at the end is I think might be a common motif in some of the other games too. But burned by 9 Inch Nails. I think some of that's some Newgrounds audio. Well, probably not Newgrounds Audio Portal. That might have been after this. And some Sonic Adventure 2 music. That's another game you can kind of see some of the essence there. Just with Sonic Adventure 2's ridiculous conclusion. And there's some of that essence here, I think. And a bunch of Rhete's characters from his Flash movies and PSO characters.
Oh, MikeMan, save the day, burn the children.
I never got the burn the children thing because I never found any of the bonus levels before this. So I just thought it was a weird non sequitur. But okay, we didn't get the one bonus stage. So I'm thinking the way forward here is to cheat. I think that's what MikeMan would want. We got BTC-O, so I think we can probably find this pretty quickly. Don't you all think? I don't think MikeMan would mind. I love the title screen here with the flames, the animation. Oh my god. Alright. Oh, that was it. BTC, okay. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, I had not found the bonus stages before I played it for this video, actually, so I was familiar with MikeMan otherwise, but I just didn't realize that the lemons were collectibles. So this is my first experience playing these super hard levels where you only get the one hit point. And this is really rough. It's really weird and funny though, just to have this random assortment of dumb hard levels that you access via password. But I think we've just about got it. I think we've just about figured out how to get through this. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. There we go. Alright, now we're in for a super hard level, I think. Okay. Moving on. Alright, I'm sensing some repetition here, but that's okay. I was really pleased to find these secrets here, because I had played the game several times before. Alright, there we go. Not too bad. Alright. Final boss. It's Kid with Knife. Let's fast forward a bit, I think. Alright, let's try it one more time. I think we've probably got this. This has probably been kind of a frenetic video. I'm just feeling kind of excited because I just had a fun couple hours playing this game a bunch and kind of reconnecting with it after it had inspired me to make a game a couple years ago. So yeah, a bit frenetic, but oh my god, more with the absurd HP. And just randomly throwing knives only in one direction. And it's really hard to land hits because of the dumb Space Invaders bullets. Ugh. But we got this. We got this. And now I think the game can only end in the way it can, which is that. So, I hope you all had a fun time watching me play Adventures of MikeMan 2.